All right. Good evening, everyone. This is the February 26, 2020 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being recorded. It will be available for viewing at some point on the town website, which is auburnguide.com. Before we begin tonight's meeting, I am required to ask if anyone in the audience is making a recording of this meeting. There being no indication of such, the first item on tonight's agenda is a 7 p.m. public hearing. Scott Henderson, a requested determination of applicability to construct a 3-car detached garage at 7 Hilltop Farm Road in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So be it.
Is there a second?
I second it.
I'm just taking comments.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Just identify yourself for the record.
Yep, Scott Henderson of 7 Hilltop Farm Road.
And who's this gentleman?
I'm Garrett Henderson of 7 Hilltop Farm Road. I'm his son.
I was going to say, you guys must be related. So tell us about your project.
Well, he's half the reason why. I just need more parking spaces in my garage. Kids don't move out, so you know how it works. So
Really? So it's cheaper for you to build this 3-car garage than to kick them out?
Yeah.
All right.
I know.
Is this the, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
it's the
seriously,
concept.
continue.
Yeah, no worries. Interesting, this is my third time presenting to you folks
Okay.
for this very property here. My house, I guess, went through it, and then we presented for a pool in that picture, and also for a porch extension. So,
Sure that I was there for.
yeah, we presented. So we've actually been using the same plan, to be
Yes.
quite honest, this first one.
I see that.
Yeah, so what we're doing in the packet there, this was the model that we're copying. It's a straightforward 3-car garage. And I placed it on the drawing. It's going to be in the far back left. It's, as you can tell, that's pretty much to scale. It's either going to be touching or just about the 100-foot buffer, as you can see on that. So that is the question right there. There was no way I could guarantee that it would or wouldn't. So
Okay.
I knew enough to go through this process. But what I did do, I know it's kind of hard to tell, but since we were last here, I think I should have passed this out before. Can I do that? Pass this stuff out? I just took some aerials of my property looking down, just to kind of give you a feel. And can I go up to that? And,
Yeah. Someone else.
I experimented with my my panoramic camera.
Okay.
And this is standing on my back porch of my house looking back. So my property line, and you can line it up on that, is basically the stone wall
Okay.
right there. Prospect Street is here. One thing to remember, it's a pretty steep hill. It's not flat property. Prospect is a hill. This is I don't want to say a brook, it's a drainage for all the drainage
Drainage
detention.
swell?
Yeah. And again, my garage is planning on going back here, because I own almost 3 acres, most of which is over here, but I'm going to butt it up way in the back left, right there. So just to kind of give you a feel for what's going to happen.
Now, is the garage going to be oriented towards Prospect Street? Or, I'm sorry, towards the, what's the adjacent street?
My house is on
Yeah.
Hilltop
Oh,
Farm.
I'm sorry, Hilltop. So,
Yep,
so the garage is going to be facing Hilltop?
correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Equal with my house, the same orientation facing forward.
And what about, are you going to have an asphalt driveway leading to the garage?
Yes.
Because that's not shown on your plan.
It's going to basically go to the left of the house. Left side of the house.
So, plan is like right there.
So,
Yeah.
basically it'll be back in this area, just above the.
Just to go along, the left and then go directly to the
You only
garage.
have
and-
13
So
feet
what's
there.
what's the setback of the garage going to be from the Hilltop?
Yeah.
Setback from what, I'm sorry?
Okay,
Hilltop
the setback of the garage from Hilltop Farm Road.
Road.
You're not gonna have it right on top of the road, obviously.
From
No, it's
Hilltop.
gonna be like 350 feet, right? It's gonna go.
It's be behind my house,
It'll be
so
behind
it's
the
gonna
house.
be,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're going to,
Be up here.
all right,
Here's Hilltop Farm Road.
you're gonna extend, what's the point of access to the garage?
down my existing driveway,
Mhm.
to the left of my house,
Okay.
and then in my backyard.
All right, so you didn't put that on your plan, though?
Yeah, yeah,
No.
Yeah, it's not an engineered plan.
okay.
All right, so, don't get me wrong, I understand what you're trying to do here, but we need something a little more accurate than what you've given to us.
Okay,
So that's number one. Secondly, we always like to take a look, because, you know, we're curious people, and we want to just make sure everything complies with the rules and regulations. So my suggestion would be that we continue this matter at the next meeting.
When was your wetlands assessed?
Well, this plan is dated 2002, so it's been at least 17 years.
Do we go there?
Yeah. Seems like you might need a fresh,
Well, I don't know about that. We can obviously, when we go to take a site inspection, we can take a look, you know? So our next meeting is going to be March 11th.
mhm.
So if, with your assent, we would continue this matter to our March 11th meeting.
Okay. What did you want me to do in preparation for that?
Well, I want you to show me where you're going to put your driveway to the garage, number one.
Okay,
I'd also like to have, or know specifically what the setback from Hilltop Farm Road is going to be for your garage as well.
okay.
Okay? Paula, do you know if we have any?
Understand?
Do you know if we have anything on the agenda for March 11th at 7 o'clock?
yeah, we have 411.
Oh, is that right? Wait a second, so
411 Leicester Street.
411
So
Lester's
would the
been
garage go
continued
under
to,
that?
22.
I mean, excuse me, the
then
driveway,
anything
the driveway.
The driveway's gonna.
Continue from 212 and now,
From here, all the way out. Gotcha,
I mean,
Then we have,
gotcha.
hold
how
on.
many trees are gonna have to be cleared, Joe?
Right.
Is there any trees?
There's no need for a public hearing they requested a certificate of compliance, we made an inspection, we can make a decision on that, so we can actually decide on that tonight. Aside from that, is there anything else on for March 11th?
There's a complaint from 343 Leicester Street.
All right, so why don't we schedule then 7 Hilltop and Mr. Henderson for, let's call it 7:15 on 311. Okay? Is there a motion to that effect, please?
I make a motion that we continue the hearing for Scott Henderson, requested determination to 311-715.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we'll give that to Michelle. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. And what we'll do is, we will, I can't do it this weekend, but we will make arrangements to contact you to take a look before the next meeting, okay? All right, so thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Want to go grab it? Thanks.
It's coming. Baby shower this past weekend.
Very good stuff.
Yeah.
We have a few minutes before the next public hearing. So we have meeting minutes for our last meeting of February 12th. And these were circulated and comments were made before tonight. And so unless anyone has anything else to add, is there a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the amended minutes of the meeting of February 12th. I recommend we accept them as amended.
Okay, is there a second?
I make a second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
I guess I do too.
You were not here, so, okay. All right, good, it's a vote, thank you.
Okay.
All right, I've got 10 past 7. The next item on our agenda for this evening is Andrew Lawton, a request for an amendment order conditions for modification of the driveway at 314 Washington Street. Is there a motion open?
Make a motion, they'll be open.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, it's a vote. Would you be Mr. Lawton?
I'm Vito Colonna,
So no.
representing Andrew. Yep, he's away tonight.
Okay. And who are you with, Mr. Colon?
Cornerstone Engineering.
Okay.
So we did the engineering for the project.
Mhm.
I think you're familiar with the project.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yep, we were in here not that long ago.
Yes, you
For
were.
a different modification. They got denied.
Yes, you did.
So we went back, reworked the plan again. Took everything out. The reason for the last now, we were looking for work inside the 25-foot buffer. We took all that work out of there, so we're leaving the limit of pavement in the back as it is today. And basically what the plan was is in the front, we were going to add parking.
Right.
And as part of that, the town engineer wanted to modify the existing driveway to entrance only. Right now, it's a two-way traffic there.
Right.
And he wanted this to be an entrance only, and to get a secondary exit, we put one down this end of the parking lot. And this is in the buffer though, so the buffer zone is right above
Which
here.
driveway is entering?
So,
On Millbury Street?
This one's gonna be coming
On,
in,
on Washington Street.
yeah, coming in off Washington, and then there's another exit now onto Washington. Because if this one was our only entrance, then the only exit would be over on Millbury, and that one backs up. One in the traffic light. It backs up pretty good.
Now, by making these changes, do you get the number of spaces that you were looking for?
We get more spaces.
Not everything you wanted, though, right?
Not what they wanted.
Nobody gets whatever they
Yep.
want.
No.
But this basically maxes out
The site, right?
everything they can do.
Okay.
So basically, they're adding the ones in front. That's basically
Yeah, they're
the
adding up in
big
front of the
difference.
building.
Okay.
Yeah, so
How
they get
many- approximately how many more?
16 more.
16 more vehicles.
Yeah, so that helps them because it's 16, but then they turn over, those spaces 8-10 times a day.
That's
So
entrance
that's
only, okay.
that many more clients they can get.
Now,
So-
how will, if you know, how will traffic be affected by changing the driveways on Washington Street?
So actually, it actually works out a little bit better. And the town engineer, they kind of wanted this in the beginning, but you get about 3 less spaces over in here.
Right.
So originally this was a two-way, and there's a double lane as you come down here, and it drops the lane right at the entrance now. So when you pull out down here, you'll be in that single lane. It won't be a spot where there's the 2 lanes merging. So it's actually a better spot to exit the site. And it kind of defines the two. And we can angle this one out because they didn't want us to have a left turn out of there.
Right.
So we can really angle that one hard
Right turn
and make
only.
you,
And you're going to put signs that say that, obviously.
yeah.
Say right turn off, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So we've been through ZBA and planning. So now this is the
And if they approve it?
last stop, yep. So this is
Alright.
the last stop. So right now out there where this would be, it's just the grass shoulder. There's no clearing or anything needed.
No.
So when would you start construction on this?
They would start, as soon as the weather breaks. With this year, it's
Yeah, it's hard to
probably
say.
pretty soon.
Yeah, okay. And
Um,
how long do you think it would take to construct?
It should only be a couple months. I
You
would
think it'll
say.
take that long?
It depends, because I think with trying to work with the existing operations, they may do a piece, to get the whole thing done, it might take a couple months, but just to do this one piece,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
that's, 2 weeks or so.
Yeah,
you know.
okay. All
It
right.
just depends where they phase it in there, because they gotta keep the operations going and try to,
Right.
That construction
Not disrupt.
in front won't affect any of the traffic on Washington Street, right?
no,
Okay.
no, it's just gonna be a matter of staging and trying to not block off too much parking while they're doing it. Hopefully they don't have to, close down for a week or something like that, but it may happen.
Okay.
Good.
Any other comments from the board? Any comments from the audience? All right. Does the board want to take a walk? I mean, I know the last time the applicant was here, I know several of us took a walk at the site. It's pretty well known to us. I don't feel we need to, but again, I'm just one voice here, so.
If it helps, I'd This is just street view from Google. But this is right where the driveway is going to entrance. This is from last fall. I don't know if anyone, just in case.
We have a copy of that for the file.
Yeah.
So that's right in this, that's right in this spot where the
Okay.
driveway's going to come across.
Right.
Yeah, the street view is great.
So basically between the two trees, right? Where
Yeah.
the ones are?
Yeah, kind of to the left, that tree, that was one they just planted, that tree.
Okay.
So that one probably will have to get moved.
Uh-huh.
But that's out in the right of way, basically.
How many spaces are you losing by putting in this exit?
2.
Okay,
So it's kind of the last 2. That pole would stay,
right.
and then you sneak it in just to the left where that gray
Between
car is, kind of.
In between, like from here to there?
Yeah,
And then making sure not to take down that tree.
that one they might have to move. That's the one they just planted too.
Well, are they gonna put it somewhere else?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they'd have to move it over.
yeah.
All right.
So that one's about right, kind of right there.
Mhm.
They have to move it over about 10, 15
But
feet.
the 16 more spaces, including the elimination of that?
Yeah,
Okay,
net
okay.
16.
Net 16, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we lost a couple here, but then I got one there, and then
You've got
some
ones in
here. Kind of net 16 though in the end.
front. Okay. Any more questions? In that case, is there a motion to close?
Hearing?
Is there a second?
Second that?
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, it's a vote. All right, so we should be acting on your request this evening.
Okay.
All right,
All right, great.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, the next item, actually, it should have been put out for hearing, but in any event, the next item on our agenda is the notice, abbreviated notice of resource area delineation for 190 Washington Street in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
That's like
Okay. Paul, did you get that?
I'm sorry.
Michelle,
Yes.
moved to open the meeting, Nate seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, it's a vote. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
For the record, Travis Brown with Turning Point Engineering. Also here tonight is Steve O'Connell from Turning Point and Phil Caraccio. For an ANRAD that was filed for property at 190 Washington Street, as you folks that were on the sidewalk are familiar.
Yes.
We appreciate your time coming out, looking at those resource areas. I think we looked at everything that you folks wanted to look at.
You did. It's a
That,
big site, but, and it's an interesting site. I had never walked it before, and it's both an interesting topography and an interesting wetland area too, that we saw. So, that one, we went about 2 weeks ago, so it was Tom, Nate, Tony and I went out. You ladies were missed.
Okay.
It was cold though, and,
quite a walk in
and
the
we were,
woods.
and it was quite a walk, but it was,
My neck hurts.
well, we covered the vast majority of the site. We had an opportunity to look at the wetland areas to see what was flagged. Based on my observation, the things that needed to be flagged were flagged. They were flagged accurately. And so for that reason, what I saw, I think, complied with what you had filed with us. So, any discussion, any conversation?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw the width of that area?
We walked
was supposed-
we walked the length of it. We also went deep into the interior. So,
Okay.
I mean, you could probably spend. I imagine when the wetlands were flagged, they probably spent a number of hours out there doing it.
It was over 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, exactly. But
I just think with big sites, we should be getting peer reviewed.
okay.
That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We can't possibly walk the whole site or look at every spot. Seems to me like having an expert's opinion would be nice, but I wasn't out there, so I won't.
Well, we can certainly have a peer review done.
You call it.
What is me? Why?
See?
You guys all look at me like,
No,
Well, no,
no,
it-
if you have a
it-
question about it.
I just think bigger sites, that's part of the process, I think.
Mhm.
That's just my opinion.
Well, that's fine. We can certainly go ahead and have a peer review done. I mean, you know,
I wasn't there,
I
so,
wasn't there.
yeah, you call,
I take their word for it.
right?
Based
Well,
on the
you should
observations that were
probably-
seen on site, I mean, you guys didn't have any questions
No,
or issues
sure.
with anything that was out there.
This is what I'm
From
looking
what we
at.
saw, it was like it was pretty, it was flagged. I
Yeah.
mean, we saw the points, we went pretty deep in there.
It's done by a reputable wetland scientist.
Right.
Yep, that's right, the
Yeah, we're
scientist was
supposed to
there.
be
with
looking at
us.
soils, we're supposed to be looking at plants when they're alive.
You don't have what you're gonna be building up there, you're just marking it for
Just to
future.
delineate the
right,
wetlands.
Right,
Planning.
just to delineate the wetlands.
Yeah, delineating it, right. Gotcha.
I mean, with the option, what we could do is once,
That's another good point, but
when that site is developed, we could have a peer review done at that time. But, you know, Allison, you know, if you want to make a motion for a peer review, we can vote on it.
that's true.
You know, I mean, I absolutely respect your opinion, and if that's something, or that's the direction you want to head into, then
What
we
is
can have
the-
it done.
What is the size? Where's acreage on the site?
So it's a total of about 53 acres, 40 of it would be upland, so about 13 or so.
Yeah.
Resource areas are also pretty well defined. There's a number of, mostly related to individual streams that flow through the site.
And again, I think that once
So here's it coming off.
it actually has
Is it
some.
like slopes down and then slopes down on one
Yeah,
side?
it's a valley in the middle of the site.
These are the power lines. Okay, question, okay, and it comes across?
Well, let's put it out there.
Then we came
I
down
don't mind putting it out there.
We came in this way.
If you guys don't want to do
There
it.
is the.
I won't be offended.
What if,
Unused area way over here.
I mean, again, when there's an
This is
actual
power
building
lines
that's gonna be
here.
put on it, I think at that point, depending upon where it's gonna be.
But aren't we kind of
maybe-
confirming the wetland line? Isn't this?
This is the whole,
That's what that-
that's exactly right.
this does.
And so
And then you
whenever,
can use that to
whenever a
make your
project,
plans That would waste more money and time for them later.
whenever a specific project is proposed, they will, obviously, I mean, my presumption is that in order to minimize their expenses, their site costs, they're gonna, once the wetland has been confirmed, or the areas have been confirmed, they're gonna cite specific projects so that, you know, they don't impact the wetland, you know? But again, you know, and I will say, based on my experience on large projects, and even though this has not been, nothing is proposed in terms of a housing development or any commercial development, we have had peer review done on large parcels of land in the past. This is one of the larger parcels, one of the larger remaining parcels in Auburn, so, you know, if you want to request a peer review, I say make the motion, and we can vote on it.
All right, I make a motion that we get a peer review conducted on 411 Leicester Street.
No, it's 190
Oh, I'm
Washington
sorry.
Street.
So sorry, 191 Washington Street.
Do
Okay.
we have any idea about the cost of that, or?
We have the money,
We do, okay.
yeah.
How about time?
How about time?
Is there, again, I'm just asking, is there a time factor in which you need this done or this approved quickly?
No, we're just trying to get through the process as quick as possible. You know, we came here with the intent to look at the site, and meeting on site, we thought everything had been squared away, so this throws a little bit of a wrinkle into that.
Right.
Just trying to check it off the list, right?
Right.
Basically.
Yeah,
Right, so
yeah,
we can
yeah.
move forward.
Yeah. Client owns the land, they're
They're trying to
Yeah.
get their stuff done.
So is there a
You
second?
gotta cross the wetland to get to the back.
Do you have to cross the wetland in order to get to the back portion of it?
if you access from Washington
Yeah,
Street, you wouldn't, we haven't gotten that far.
Right.
You come from the other side of the power lines and come down that way.
I wasn't there.
Okay,
so-
no, no.
And any wetland crossing would be a filing with you folks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, Allison's put forth a motion to have this, the project peer reviewed. Is there a second? There being no second, the motion will not be voted on. All right, gentlemen. In that case, is there a motion to close?
Move to close.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote? All right, thank you very
Thank
much.
you for your time.
Thank you. Night, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, the next matter on our agenda was Scribner Development. I'm sorry.
Just a quick question. Michael Fulgenetti, I live on Tuck Farm Road in Meadowbrook condominiums.
Right,
When will we know they're not disclosing what they plan on building on
Right.
the property?
right.
When will we know that?
When they file with us, or
Okay.
when they file with the planning board.
And will we get notice of that in the butters?
Yes.
Yeah, they have to give you notice.
Okay.
All right,
Okay, very good. Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay. The next item on our agenda is Scribner Development was a request for a certificate of compliance for 411 Leicester Street. The four of us went out after we went to 190 Washington Street, went over to Leicester Street. You can tell where the septic system was installed. It's installed, they basically mounted it right next to the house. The house actually turned out very nicely compared to the condition of the property when we had been there before. The as-built plan conforms with what we saw on site. So is there a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 411 Leicester Street?
I motion to, you guys were there, right?
Yeah.
Mark, you looked at all of this. This is the one that that I was having a problem with. As long as you guys looked at it and looked at certificate, I motion to give the certificate of compliance. So, certificate of compliance to 411 Leicester Street.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
I'll abstain.
Okay. And then, the next item was a notice of intent for the replacement of the connecting bridge.
That's a tough one, right?
Well, it's a tough one because it's not an easy thing to look at because of the amount of traffic. But the applicant hasn't come back since we had the initial hearing.
Oh, and did we ever get the DEP file?
Yeah,
There's no
that's
deed.
we're
Still no
waiting for that,
deed.
right.
No.
So we can't act on it anyway. So I think we just should continue it to March 11th.
Will we hear from somebody, or should we be hearing from someone? shouldn't we?
Well, yeah, we should be hearing from someone. Maybe send them a letter. So, Paula, I guess my question is, given the fact that that Liz has left, I mean, are you here tonight just to cover this meeting?
Yes, I will be helping out, but
Okay, all right.
you're
So,
also,
in that case, what I will do is, I guess I'll follow up with Darlene.
yeah, I
Okay.
believe it's good, yeah, Darlene or Caleb,
All right, very good.
but I'll be helping out with that.
All right, so I think we should continue the matter for the bridge replacement to the next meeting on 3/11.
Today?
Yeah, so Liz resigned, I guess, today.
Wow.
I didn't get any advance notice. I got an email from Caleb at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. And then finally, Glenn Kravosky, with respect to Diamond Buick, he pointed out, he's absolutely right, that instead of there being one certificate of compliance, there are actually 3. So, do you have anything in the file for that, Paula? That's Faith Ave, exactly.
Just
has on here that they'll either do a site visit or
We did the site
make a
visit.
determination.
We actually, what it is that at the last meeting, he was here, and we actually voted to issue a certificate of compliance. The only issue is that instead of there just being one certificate, there have to be two others.
Okay,
So-
that's what, okay. We were trying to figure out what this was, because
Okay.
there's different addresses, right?
Or I might refer to even different projects. Can you make any sense of it? Because if you can't, and believe me, I understand, I can talk to Darlene about it.
Yeah, I believe you're gonna have to, because I don't think
All
we
right.
could make,
All right, then why don't we
you
do
know, that
this?
there was so much in here that we didn't. All right.
We'll continue,
We needed more time to figure it out.
I absolutely understand. We'll continue Diamond then until the next meeting on 3/11.
Sorry about that.
You know, no apology is necessary.
Okay, so based on that, should we make sure that the certificate of compliance for this one didn't go out?
I don't know if it has or not. I don't think so. I think
Which one are you looking at?
is the well, Paula.
Are you talking about the faith, right?
Yes.
If something was mailed out to him, let me double check that.
I mean, it's fine. It's just that I think there are two additional certificates that need to be issued.
No, not for Faith Ave.
Yeah, for Faith Ave. Excuse me. So what happened is after we had our meeting, apparently Glenn Kravosky contacted Liz and said, in addition to there should have been 3 separate certificates of compliance, basically closing out that portion of the project.
I understand what you mean,
Uh-huh.
but that's not what I mean.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, when I asked her, Liz, to adjust the 738 Washburn, 738, the 505 Washington Street, because she had it, that they were all set. They were all set, and that we were lifting the,
Yeah, right. Oh, right. We talked about that.
yeah.
The
Did
le-
she send out the letter?
You-
Which way did she send out the letter for 505 Washington
She
Street?
included the language that I requested.
And did that letter go out? I know it's fixed here, but did she send out the letter which way? And did the letter go out?
As far as, well, I don't, she said she was going to send the letter out. Let me check my emails.
She said that she was going to fix it. She did fix it here. So
She
how did
said-
the letter
that's
go
right.
out?
Because she sent it to me.
Oh, she did. She sent
She
it to
sent me
you.
the revised
Okay,
letter.
all right. Okay,
Okay?
all right, fine. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was correct.
There you go.
Because the way that
Okay.
it read.
All right. This is the last sentence.
Okay, yeah.
The board, I'm going to read into the record. The board appreciates your cooperation with the matter and would like to remind you and your company that there is to be absolutely no snow or material dump within the buffer zone or
Thank you.
surrounding wetlands.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Are you placated?
I am.
All right, very good. Don't want to get you mad. Okay.
Okay, so it just looked like she did mail out a decision on 2/18,
Okay.
51 and 38 Faith Ave.
That's, yeah, he says that we need 2 more, he needs 2 more certificates of compliance.
So I do see in here on January 7th, he has 3 different certificate of compliances he applied for.
Oh, all right.
What was it, 51, 54, and 38?
They were all set and that they could continue to.
Right. 51 and 54, 51 and 38. And 51 and 54.
That would make
Three.
sense why
Because I think there were 3 different projects. All right, so this is what we're going to do, all right? I will get in touch with Mr. Grabowski just to clear this up, okay? Rather than us signing these tonight.
Okay, all right.
So let's continue that to 3/11 as I had suggested before, and we'll get this squared away. So the only thing we need to do, well, there are a couple things we need to do. We need to act on the request for the amended order conditions for 314 Washington Street. And then we also need to act on the abbreviated notice of resource area delineation. Do you have the forms?
Yeah.
Which forms are those?
Well, good question. So,
Yeah.
For the continuance?
no.
No.
No, so we've received a request to amend the order conditions for 314 Washington Street. So I think what we can do is, we don't need to do a brand new order of conditions for 314. I think what we can do is we can, and my recommendation would be this, that we amend the current order by motion, attaching a copy of the plan that they submitted, and also, I don't think we have to attach a copy of the image. But I think that's the way we can incorporate the amendment to the order of conditions.
Is that this here?
Let me see what you got.
Together?
That's
What
it,
he had in
that's
the
right,
file.
That's just the conditions. That's
I
right.
think that's the form, is that the form?
No, it's not.
No, it's just- okay.
I don't think, I'm not sure that there's a specific form on the DEP website that addresses amendments to order or conditions. That's why I think we have to do it by, we have, well, you know what? We have 21 days to act on it. And the March 11th meeting is within that 21-day period. So let me see what we need to file, and if I have to get guidance from DEP, I will. All right, so if you would, Paula, we're going to continue, or put on our agenda for a 311 action on the request for the amended order of conditions for 314 Washington Street. And then finally, for the abbreviated notice of resource area delineation, I know there's a form for that. Although we haven't done one in several years.
Yeah, wow.
Do you have the form in your file?
Those are the only forms he put in there.
All right.
Couple hours.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if I can find it.
I'm not gonna do that. Wow, just had that with
Done really well last weekend.
me. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, a couple boxes full.
That's good.
Yeah.
As many as you might have got, it's not.
I know, it's not enough.
Seems like way too many, and then a week later. What?
I heard diaper services have been coming back and forth now.
Yeah, really?
But none of my friends are actually having children, so they can just tell me.
What does she do?
April 6th.
Okay, I'm gonna cross the street, do a little bit later. It's busy. It's a busy world already.
Okay. There is a form.
She got through that pretty good though, March, yeah. She's out there, huh?
Yeah, she is, yeah.
All the work that we may have to do. We have to do all the work.
I know.
discuss, nothing else to discuss. Sounds good.
I have something actually.
You do? Okay.
Ah. Then you have to call, I'll have to just call it somehow. And then we'll call afterwards. Is that another number? Because that trailer is still like on the
There?
water.
Where?
Currently?
Yeah,
By your place?
it's still on the water. That needs to be moved soon, and he's just piling stuff up now on the water on the other side. Like that. So,
So I have the form on my iPhone, so the printing is really tiny. But I don't see where if we sign off on that form. All right. We also have 21 days to act on
It'll be okay.
their request, so why don't you put that on for the March 11th too, if you don't mind.
And that was the,
That is for 190 Washington Street.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else? In that case, is there a motion to adjourn?
Oh, Michelle has something else. to share.
I thought you did.
I think I'm gonna have to call in though, because
Okay.
I can't, I think that the trailer may be
First of all, what are you talking about?
Coriglia.
Mr. Coriglia? What's the address?
I think it's either 89 or 98.
Okay. Now, you're in a butter, so you,
Not really in a butter, on the road though, so it does, I know I'm gonna have to recuse myself, so I'll have my
that's
sister
right.
come.
What's the issue?
But the trailer's still there on the water.
The
And I-
trailer on the water or the trailer that they were living in?
The trailer that they're living in
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Right?
is still in there. So I think that that's still close enough to the water. So I don't think it's necessarily us. The problem is that he's still piling stuff up against the water.
What stuff?
Junk. Just anything he can throw back there is,
Well, then we need to take a look.
he's kind of throwing back there.
Like what?
Chairs and pots and junk.
Has the new house been?
I don't know, but I don't know if it's necessarily us. So that's why I think that I'm gonna form my stuff and,
So it might be on a property line next to him, right?
but I think that the other bigger issue is just the trailer itself, because that trailer, its septic tank is what's bothering me the most. The trailer, the septic tank is connected to the house itself by just a pipe.
Isn't that a Board of Health issue?
I would think.
Yes, it is.
So
Yeah.
complain to the Board of Health.
Yeah.
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 That's you?
That's you.
So complain to her.
I'll call you tomorrow.
I can make a-
Okay.
I can get it
I'll
again.
give you a call.
All right, is there anything else?
No.
In that case,
What street?
It's Berlin Street.
okay, in that case, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion that we adjourn?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Paula, appreciate